Grab your tea because it's piping hot and scolding today. The internet is completely losing it, and baby, when I tell you Cassie just got dragged into one of the messiest scandals of the decade, whew, it all started when one of Diddy's former escorts came forward and blew the lid off the whole freak-off circus. And not just any escort, honey. This man, who goes by the name Dave, real name Clayton Howard, isn't just spilling tea. He's pouring a whole boiling pot and serving lawsuits. Now brace yourself, because this isn't just about shady parties or wild nights. Dave is suing Cassie, yes, the same Cassie who once sued Diddy herself for allegedly giving him her peas. Buckle up, this is gonna be wild. Okay, so remember how during Diddy's recent trial, Cassie was positioned as a victim? The prosecution painted a heartbreaking story, saying she was forced into these freak-offs, didn't even know it was happening the first time, and that Diddy used drugs to lower her inhibitions. She said he brought a man to his mansion, had her wear a masquerade mask, and boom, before she could even process it, she was in the middle of one of Diddy's twisted games. Girl, she said it wasn't just once, it was a pattern. Diddy would randomly whisper, "I want an FO," and Cassie was expected to handle everything. Location, escorts, drugs, the works. She said she was high on ecstasy, GHB, drowning in alcohol, and afterward, she'd need IV fluids to recover. It sounded horrifying. But here's the gag. Dave says, nope, that's a lie. According to Dave, Cassie was not some helpless participant. In fact, she was right there organizing these freak-offs, helping force people into them and acting like the HBIC the whole time. Dave says he first got involved around 2009 and that Diddy and Cassie used him not romantically, not respectfully, like a toy for commercial entertainment, for their pleasure, over and over again. He said they treated him like property. And Cassie, she wasn't scared or unwilling. She got a kick out of it. He even says she forced him to do unspeakable things, like taking ecstasy and then performing for hours until his skin was literally peeling. Y'all, what? But wait, it gets worse. Dave is alleging that Cassie loved the control. He says she embraced Diddy's influence and she thrived in that twisted space. He said that's why he stayed for nearly a decade. He was afraid, broke, and trapped in a psychological chokehold. And here's where jaws dropped. He says Cassie forced him to sleep with her while she was on her period and ended up giving him an STD. And according to Dave, she got pregnant during all this, and he believes he's the father. Now, look, there's debate in the streets because Cassie said there were multiple escorts. So folks are asking, how does Dave know the baby is his? He says he never saw Cassie with other men like that, and she allegedly never did freak-offs with Diddy himself. So to him, the math adds up. So what's Dave doing about all this? He filed a civil lawsuit demanding compensation for what he says he endured: physical injuries, psychological trauma, lost wages, suffering, and emotional damage. And baby, the list is long. But people are asking, why now? Most lawsuits against Diddy came in 2023 and early 2024. Why Dave wait so long? Well, he says his lawyer told him to wait until Diddy's federal trial ended so Cassie's testimony wouldn't be discredited. Her words were important for the prosecution and they didn't want to shake the case. But now that the trial is over, Dave says it's time. He also explained why he isn't going the criminal route. According to him, after watching the way the feds handled the case, especially ignoring male victims like himself, he lost all faith. He said they didn't care about justice unless it was about Diddy, and that Cassie, they let her skate, even though they supposedly knew she was deeply involved. Now, honey, the internet has opinions, and you know they're loud. Some are like, well, Cassie took $30 million, 0 cents from Diddy, so now she's fair game too. Others are defending her, saying Dave can't prove the baby's his or that the STD came from her. He's an escort, some say. It comes with the territory. One user even said, you work at McDonald's, sometimes you get burned by grease. He knew the risks. Brutal. But others are saying, no, this is serious. Just because he was an escort doesn't mean he deserved to be manipulated, drugged, and traumatized for years, especially if it's all true. So what's next for Cassie and Diddy? Well, Cassie hasn't responded to Dave's claims yet, but this lawsuit, it's ugly. There's no turning back. It's got STI allegations, pregnancy rumors, years of abuse, drug use, and power dynamics that make your stomach turn. And the worst part, no one knows the whole truth. Everyone's claiming something different. The feds dropped some charges. Diddy beat the RICO, but not the others. Cassie walked away with a massive settlement, and now she's getting sued. Girl, this is like a season of scandal and euphoria rolled into one with no breaks. So here we are. Cassie, once seen as the victim in the Diddy saga, is now being called the villain by someone who says she played the game willingly and hurt people in the process. And y'all, The truth might be somewhere in between. Whether she was trapped and turned cold, or whether she was always in on it. This mess is unraveling in real time, and it's not over. Stay tuned, because more receipts are bound to come out, and who knows what else will be revealed. One thing's for sure, ain't nobody walking away from this with clean hands. So tell me, do you think Cassie was innocent? Or was she just as involved as Diddy all along? Drop your thoughts and theories, baby, cause this drama, it's just getting started.